Welcome to this podcast is Uncalled For.
Well, the name of this podcast is Stuff Uncalled For?
This podcast is uncalled for.
Podcast, all right. Well,
What's uncalled for about it?
What we doing, Tijuana?
And he's like, what did you just say?
It's a bit of a slap in the face and an insult.
And then look, thank you back home.
Oh, that's going to be great for the football chant.
Yeah, it's kind of like, what's that character from Guardians of the Galaxy who takes everything literally?
Because it always happens. It always happens.
That is uncalled for, Michael.
And now, your host for this podcast, Mike Chernevsky.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody. So today we're going to talk about eating healthy and diets. So as I made everyone aware at the beginning of the season, I was in the hospital for a couple of days because of what turns to be high blood pressure caused by high cholesterol. Well, I had a similar attack during spring break 2022. This time, however, did not have to spend time in the hospital, but I did have to go into an emergency room. The same emergency room I went to, by the way. And just had my blood pressure checked. The full story is I felt the symptoms this time coursing throughout my body, not just across the face, and called my primary care doctor. He wasn't available, and the nurse that took the call said, go to the emergency room. You could go to urgent care, but they're going to send you to the emergency room, and that's exactly what happened. So I go in. So I go to the emergency room. They take my blood pressure. Yeah, it's high. The ER doctor suggests getting a blood pressure cuff, which I did. And the ER nurse suggested, well, you might be dehydrated, so drink some water and drink some electrolytes. Believe it or not, there is something stronger than Gatorade out there. So that was interesting to learn. And as a result, I had to schedule a follow-up with my primary care doctor. So it's a good thing I have one now. Anyway, the day I'm recording this is actually the day after I saw my doctor. And they took my blood pressure again. I got there and he said, yeah, you still have high blood pressure, so I'm going to give you, in addition to the meds you're already taking, I'll give you a blood pressure medication, which I'll have to take once a day. And we're putting you on a diet. We want you to try something called the DASH diets. Absolutely no relation to DoorDash. The DoorDash diet, of course, is you just order a bunch of food on DoorDash, which is going to cost you a pretty penny. And as a DoorDash driver, I greatly appreciate it. Some of y'all need a tip better or at all. FYI. But that's not what this diet is about. So it's called the DASH diets, standing for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension. The DASH diet, and I'm now reading this from the Mayo Clinic website. The DASH diet is a healthy eating plan designed to help treat or prevent high blood pressure. The DASH diet includes foods that are rich in potassium, calcium, and magnesium. These nutrients help control blood pressure. The diet limits foods that are high in sodium, saturated fats, and added sugars. Studies have shown that the DASH diet can lower blood pressure in as little as 2 weeks. Keep in mind this was just yesterday at the time of this recording. The diet can also lower low-density lipoprotein, LDL, or bad cholesterol levels in the blood. High blood pressure and high LDL cholesterol levels are 2 major risks for heart disease and stroke. And keep in mind this is in addition to medication. And yes, I do need to exercise more, and we'll touch on that near the end. But continue with this article. The DASH diet is lower in sodium than a typical American diet, which can include a whopping 3,400 milligrams of sodium or more a day. The standard DASH diet limits sodium to 2,300 mils a day. It meets the recommendation from the Dietary Guidelines for Americans to keep daily sodium intake to less than 2,300. That's roughly the amount of sodium in 1 teaspoon of table salt. Which of course, not that much. But it does have a point there. I watch a lot of YouTube videos on cooking, and they universally say, we're going to use a lot of salt. Depends on what's being cooked. But they like putting in a lot of salt in the food. A lower sodium version of DASH restricts sodium to 1,500 milligrams a day. You can choose the version of the diet that meets your health needs. If you aren't sure what sodium level is right for you, talk to your doctor. Okay. And what to eat? The DASH diet is a flexible and balanced eating plan, so that's why he put me on this. The flexibility and not going 100% vegan, which I absolutely cannot do. But I'm just going to finish reading. Is a flexible and balanced eating plan that helps create a heart-healthy eating style for life. It's easy to follow using foods found at your grocery store. The DASH diet is rich in vegetables, fruits, and whole grains. It includes fat-free or low-fat dairy products, fish, poultry, beans, and nuts. I'm not a fan of beans, so no. No, that part's no. And nuts, I'm barely a fan of nuts. The only nuts I can really stand are peanuts. So yeah. It limits foods that are high in saturated fat, such as fatty meats. So I have given up beef, most beef and most pork for that reason, and full-fat dairy products. When following DASH, it's important to choose foods that are rich in potassium, calcium, magnesium, fiber, and protein, low in saturated fat, low in sodium. It goes to recommended servings, and this gets me to another train of thought, which I'll share after I do all this. So the DASH diet provides daily and weekly nutritional goals. The number of servings you choose, you should have, depends on your daily calorie needs. So here's a look at the recommended servings from each food group for 2,000 calorie a day dash diets. Grains, 6 to 8 servings a day. 1 serving is 1 sliced bread, 1 ounce dry cereal, or 1/2 cup cooked cereal, rice, or pasta. Okay, those are all enjoyable foods. So, there you go. Vegetables, 4 to 5 servings a day. 1 serving is 1 cup raw leafy green vegetables, 1/2 cup cut up raw or cooked vegetables, or 1/2 cup vegetable juice. I don't have the taste buds for vegetable juices, but we'll see. And I have been eating a lot more salads of late. Fruits, 4 to 5 servings a day. 1 serving is 1 medium fruits, 1/2 cup frozen, fresh, or canned fruit, or 1/2 cup fruit juice. Okay, I've been my fruit intake of late too. So there you go. Fat-free or low-fat dairy products, 2 to 3 servings a day. 1 serving is 1 cup milk or yogurt. Disgusting, by the way, yogurt. Or 1.5 ounces of cheese. Okay, so I'm limited to 2 or 3 a day. Lean meats, poultry, and fish, 6 1 ounce servings or fewer a day, which is not much. Is not much at all. That 1 serving is 1 ounce cooked meat, poultry, or fish, or 1 egg. Nuts, seeds, and legumes, 4 to 5 servings a week. 1 serving is 1/3 cup nuts, 2 tablespoons peanut butter, 2 tablespoons seeds, or 1/2 cup cooked legumes. Fats and oils, 2 to 3 a day. 1 serving is 1 teaspoon soft margarine, 1 teaspoon vegetable oil, 1 teaspoon mayonnaise, or 2 tablespoons salad dressing. I'm really not a fan of eating oils, and certainly not mayonnaise. So stuff I tend to avoid. If there happens to be salad dressing, I'll begrudgingly eat it. It's depending on what it is. So then sweets and added sugars, 5 servings or fewer a week. 1 serving is 1 tablespoon sugar, jelly, or jam, 1/2 cup sorbet, or 1 cup lemonade, which is kind of a bummer because strawberry lemonade has essentially become my Coke replacement. And I have not had a single, I had 1 Coke since getting out of the hospital, but I can't right now, and to learn that I can't, I'm not supposed to be drinking the replacements. Yeah, it's good, but oh well, I'm flexible. I'll do what needs to be done. Take aim at sodium. So this is the next part. The foods at the center of the DASH diets are naturally low in sodium. So just by following the DASH diet, you're likely to limit your intake of sodium. You can further reduce sodium by using sodium-free spices or flavorings instead of salt. Alright. Not adding salt to cooking rice, pasta, or hot cereal. I hope you internet chefs are listening. I want to see salt-free recipes from you guys. Choosing plain, fresh, frozen, or canned vegetables. Choosing fresh or frozen skinless poultry, fish, and lean cuts of meat. All right. Reading food labels and choosing low sodium or no salts added options. As you cut back on processed high sodium foods, you may notice that foods taste different. It may take time for your palate to adjust, but once it does, you may find you prefer the Dash way of eating. Well, we'll see about that. I also purchased a cooking book, it's called 30 Minutes Heart Healthy Cookbook, Delicious Recipes for Easy Low Sodium Meals. And they say, this is page 9, Popular Heart Healthy Eating Patterns. 3 dietary patterns, Mediterranean, Dash, and Vegetarian Vegan, have been shown to improve cardiac outcomes, and they have many more similarities than differences. Here are the core components to aim for. Base your meals on vegetables, fruits, or both. This isn't a new idea, but still a challenge for most people. Clearly. Ideally, vegetables and fruits should make up about half of every meal or snack. If that's not realistic for you, start with a little and build from there. Eat legumes, nuts, and seeds on most days. Legumes include lentils, chickpeas. This is a falafel-free zone. Dried peas and beans. Tofu made from soybeans counts too. I should probably tell you about the time that Caroline and I had Thanksgiving one year, and she prepared tofurkey. She's a vegan, but by the way, important to point out, and it was some of the most bland food I've ever had, but still. And experiment with nut and seed butters, from peanut butter to tahini. I like peanut butter. And I've already said that peanuts are pretty much the only nuts I really can stand. So, these plant-based protein foods have consistently been tied to improvements in cardiac risk factors and outcomes. Choose mostly whole grains. All 3 dietary approaches include a moderate intake of grains, mostly whole. Bread products are a start, but challenge yourself to try intact grains like oats, quinoa, and barley, which is used to make beer, which can be cooked without salt and which are generally easy on your blood pressure. So, drink more beer? Make extra virgin olive oil your first choice. Extra virgin olive oil is a feature in the Mediterranean diets in particular, but it makes sense no matter which approach you use, unless you're cooking at very high temperatures for a long time, as when searing meat, stir frying, or roasting in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit or higher. Heart-healthy oils that withstand high temperatures better include canola, sunflower, grapeseed, and avocado. Do not get me started on avocado. I think they're disgusting, and I am potentially allergic. Aim for at least 2 servings a week of fish. Well, I've been doing 1 at least since getting out of the hospital. I've made it a point to at least once a week go to Red Lobster. We have a few here in the KC area, and order their grilled trout. So I have to develop a taste for grilled trout, and I'll usually order that with broccoli, and lately, a side salad with no dressing. So there's that. So it says fatty fish, including salmon, which I find disgusting, and same place to tuna, because if it's cooked and still looks pink, that's not appetizing to me. And also the whole, I got food poisoning from undercooked hamburger thing comes to mind. So I'm sorry, pink looks undercooked to me, even if it is fully cooked. So I can't stew salmon and tuna for those specific reasons. Trout, okay, and sardines. Sardines, okay, are especially beneficial. And the book specifically, it's cut to the dash part of this book. So this is page 10 to 11. So the Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension pattern of eating was first popularized after two well-designed studies looked at its effect on blood pressure in the late 1990s. Since then, it has been studied extensively relative to other aspects of cardiac health, with consistently positive results. The diet is quite high in fruits and vegetables, 8 to 10 servings a day for typical adults, as well as whole grains, nuts, seeds, legumes, and mostly low-fat dairy products. Meat, fish, chicken, eggs, and vegetable oils are included, but in smaller amounts than is typical in the standard American diet. Since the original studies, researchers have varied the DASH pattern and seen similarly positive results. One study looked at higher fat milk products. One reduced carbohydrates slightly and replaced them with either more plant-based protein or healthy fats. The bottom line is that as long as you include the core components, you can vary the specifics as per your preference. Alrighty then. 5 principles to heart healthy eating. Focus on satisfaction first. Yeah, good luck with that, but I digress. Nourish your body. Let's go of food guilt and relax. I never really had food guilt, but okay. Don't measure your success by weight loss. No kidding. I could stand to lose a couple of pounds, but most of all, I just need to stay healthy and aim for your sweet spot. Again, gonna be tough, but I will do my best and give this a try. So that's all I can ask myself to do is just try. And certainly medications are going to be a part of that, as well as exercise. And well, of course, I'm looking for a co-host to help with the podcast. I'm also looking for a exercise partner, so someone can do both. We'll see. Anyway, that's it for today's thoughts episode. We'll keep it posted on how this diet and everything goes, and hopefully I lose a few pounds, but more importantly, get that blood pressure down. Alright, talk to you later.
This podcast is Uncalled For is hosted, produced and edited by Mike Chernevsky. Opening music is Cool Hard Facts by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license. The outro music for this episode is Eastern Wind by Unheard Music Concepts, licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution license. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast through your favorite podcasting platform. Like our Facebook page at facebook.com/uncalledforpodcast, and check out our blog with show notes at uncalledfor.home.blog. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you next time.